If you thought today's biggest automotive story couldn't get any more interesting, wait until you hear what happened. And as always, today's episode is brought to you with support from Personamize.ai.
When I first read today's headlines, I honestly didn't expect the story to take this direction. There's a lot to unpack, so let's break it all down.
So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive right into today's biggest automotive stories. You know, Maya, there's so much happening in India's automotive landscape right now that it feels like a powder keg of innovation ready to explode.
Absolutely, Alec. India is becoming a major player in the global automotive industry, and it's fascinating to see how it's evolving. What's caught your eye recently?
Well, for starters, the push for electric vehicles has been gaining incredible momentum. The Indian government has rolled out various incentives to boost EV adoption, which is a big shift for a country that's traditionally been known for its two-wheelers and budget cars.
That's interesting. I mean, when you think of India's automotive market, you usually picture compact cars and motorcycles, but electric vehicles? That's a game changer.
Exactly. The government is aiming for 30% of all vehicle sales to be electric by 2030. It's ambitious, but with companies like Tata Motors and Mahindra leading the charge, they're making significant strides.
And let's not forget about the infrastructure. It's one thing to push for EVs, but charging stations are crucial. How's the country addressing that?
Good point. India is investing heavily in charging infrastructure. They've set targets to install thousands of charging stations across major cities. Plus, there are partnerships with private companies to accelerate this rollout.
It sounds like they're really taking a holistic approach. But what about the automotive supply chain? India has been known for its manufacturing capabilities. How does this shift toward electrification impact that?
That's where things get interesting. As the demand for EV components like batteries and electric drivetrains increases, India is also focusing on localizing production. There's a push for battery manufacturing to reduce reliance on imports, which could transform the entire supply chain.
So, we might see made in India batteries powering vehicles globally? That's quite a pivot.
Yes, and it's not just about batteries. The government is also incentivizing research and development in clean technologies. This could lead to breakthroughs that not only benefit India but also the global market.
And speaking of the global market, how do you think this positions India in comparison to other automotive giants like China or Germany?
Well, India has a unique advantage. While China is a frontrunner in EV adoption and Germany is known for its luxury vehicles, India has a diverse market with a massive population. If they can harness that with effective policies and innovation, they could really disrupt the status quo.
But what are the challenges? I mean, transitioning to electric from a historical reliance on fossil fuels isn't easy.
Definitely. Besides the infrastructure and supply chain challenges, there's also consumer perception to tackle. Many consumers see EVs as expensive or lacking range. Education and awareness will play a big role in changing that mindset.
It sounds like the government and manufacturers need to work hand in hand to not just push products, but also address those consumer concerns.
Exactly, and they're aware of this. Initiatives like the FAME India scheme aim to provide subsidies for electric vehicles, making them more affordable.
So it's a blend of government support, industry innovation, and consumer education that will make this work.
Right, and let's not overlook the role of technology. The rise of connected cars and advancements in autonomous driving are also on the horizon for India. This could attract tech-savvy consumers.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So we're looking at a future where India isn't just a manufacturing hub, but also an innovation center for automotive technology.
Precisely, and with such a youthful population, there's a strong appetite for new technology. The potential for growth in smart mobility solutions is tremendous.
What about the environmental aspect? With all this talk about EVs, how is India addressing sustainability in its automotive sector?
Great question. India is focusing on sustainable practices across the board, promoting green manufacturing processes, recycling initiatives, and reducing the carbon footprint. The aim is to transition to a more sustainable automotive ecosystem.
It seems like the Indian automotive industry is at a crossroads, where they can not only catch up but potentially lead in certain areas of innovation.
That's the kicker. If they can navigate these challenges successfully, India could very well redefine its role on the global automotive stage.
It'll be exciting to see how this all unfolds. With the rapid pace of change, who knows what the landscape will look like in just a few years.
Absolutely, India is a market to watch, and the implications of its growth will resonate worldwide.
It's invigorating to think about the possibilities. Thanks for sharing these insights, Alec. I can't wait to see how this story develops.
My pleasure, Maya. Always great to discuss the future of the automotive industry with you.
Likewise, let's keep our listeners updated as this fascinating journey unfolds in the Indian automotive scene.